Good evening, all. Welcome to K6GAE, the Hillbilly Hams channel. Tonight we're going to be streaming the Sunday Night Tech Net. KC0NSC Tom will be your net control. And as you come by the stream, jump in the chat, say hello. I want to remind everybody that we're less than a month away from NarcFest 2024 on November 9th. We just added another prize to be given away. Yaesu FTM 200DR mobile radio. So we got well up to over $3,000 worth of prizes that will be given away. And the grand prize being the Yaesu FT710 AESS. That, like we've been telling everybody, we're doing something a little different this year. You do not have to be present to win the grand prize. Now all the rest of them, including that FTM 200DR, you will have to be present. So the stream should be starting here, or the net should be starting here in about 4 minutes or so. So we will take a quick standby and we'll wait for the net to start. And anybody stops by, if you want to help me out with the sponsorships that I've gotten for the Nixa Hamfest, go by SMLRS and click on the links on those pages. But this is the Sunday Night Tech Net, so we'll stop talking about the Nixa Hamfest coming up. Being the prize chairman of that, I figure I want to get that out to everybody because we are less than a month away, and Hamfest committee is working to put on a good Hamfest for the ham community. Hopefully we'll get to where we're growing this Hamfest. And then the other one that I was at Sparkfest yesterday, and there was an announcement made yesterday that the Midwest Division ARRL conference next year.
This is your 2-minute warning. The TechNet will begin in 2 minutes.
The next year, it's going to actually be held in Sedalia. Sparkfest has already secured the state fairgrounds, the Missouri State Fairgrounds up there. So the ARRL Midwest Division Conference, not going to have to go over in January where you got to possibly deal with winter weather. And it's going to be on October 9th and 10th. That was a pretty exciting announcement that was made yesterday. Sparkfest doing pretty good with their Hamfest up there yesterday. And that announcement was kind of exciting. All right, guys, I'm going to take a standby. And like I said, if you stop by the stream, jump in the chat and say hi. But I'm going to get back quiet here for a few minutes and wait for Tom to start the net. So we will pass it back to everybody, and hopefully you enjoy the stream, and hopefully everything works all right tonight. If you're able to get into the 146.64 repeater here in Springfield, jump in the net if you got jump in the net, and if you got any questions for technology or for ham radio, that's what this net's for. And if you come by the stream and can't get into the net on the repeater and you got a question you'd like answered, throw it in the chat. I'll throw it out on the net, and we'll see if we can get your questions answered. So I will take a standby, folks, and we'll wait for the net to start.
Good evening and welcome to the Sunday Night TechNet, brought to you by the members at the Southwest Missouri Amateur Radio Club. This is KC0NSC Tom in North Springfield, and I will be your net control for the evening. Is there anyone out there that has any announcement relative to ham radio? All right. Well, hearing none, Bob out in Republic.
Well, good evening, Tom and Annette. Been sitting out here for an hour trying to get Fiji, and I guess I'm just not going to be able to make it to them. So, it was actually a little island north of Fiji. Don't even know a name other than just popped up as Fiji. So, but it wasn't the main island. Anyway, I was unable to get a hold of them, or they were unable to reply, one or the other. It's funny, I could get them most of the time, but it just didn't work tonight. But that's how 10 meters or just how radio in general works. Other than that, I don't really seem to have any major problems other than I am going to apparently have to upgrade my computer. So all you computer-minded people out there, start thinking on what I need to do to upgrade. I need serial ports, as in RS-232, which I can do with a card, and of course USB ports, and I operate with 3 monitors. So I'm thinking I might end up having to make a trip to Kansas City up to, what is that store, Micro Center or whatever it is. Anyway, maybe they'll have something in San Antonio while I'm down there. Other than that, that's all I got for now. KC0WSE.
All right. Yeah, chasing skip on 10 meters is a lot of fun. Micro Center, they had one in Denver when I lived there. That's a great place. Can't think of much of anything they don't have, so yeah, that would be a good trip, especially if you need some things. Anyway, this next person checking in, or is already checked in, 2 weeks ago, we had the topic of adding a band adapter to an older radio. Well, lo and behold, Kevin in 0KTM has done that, and texted me today with his success. So I'll let him take that away and describe what went on.
All right, Tom. Yeah, this is N0KTM over here in East Springfield. You paint a rosy picture, but it hasn't been a real rosy road for sure. I had this all working, a year ago, probably at least. Bought a little SDR dongle off of, I think I got this one from across the pond, and picked up a USB to serial adapter cable. I think I got that off of Marketplace, and had it all tied together and hooked up and working with HD SDR and what's the name of it? It's Rig. Yeah. Anyway, OmniRig to do the communications to the radio. So had all that working and switched computers around. I think that was when I was upstairs with the shack. But anyway, so that was all working then. And in the interim, doing other stuff and moving the shack, and could never get it to work back working again. And part of the conversation last week, or 2 weeks ago, was about all of this. And I think Steve chimed in on chat that the dongle, the SDR dongle that I've got, is no longer supported by SDR Play. So, okay. No drivers, no worky. And also discovered in the meantime that my serial to USB adapter cable took a dive. So I'm going to break for the repeater. Try not to be too long with this. So I bought a new SDR off of Amazon, and also off Amazon bought a new serial to or USB to serial adapter. And after much playing around and messing with settings and finding the right drivers for the SDR and everything this afternoon, lo and behold, I got it working. And as Steve is fond of saying, you're just one mouse click away from ritual suicide, and that was pretty close to it. one mouse click, and the SDR came alive, and everything's working. So anyway, that's my journey with that. Yeah, and it's an older Kenwood TS570 that's been my HF rig since I got my general license. Actually, I think before that, so I get on 10 meter net. So anyway, that's my story for the day. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Tom. This is N0 KTM, back to KC0NSC net control.
Okay, let's clear something up. Is it a TS570 or an 870?
I was wondering about that. I saw some of your comments and found the guy on YouTube. It is a 570 that I have, not an 870. So yeah, he was playing with both the 870 and the 850, which is the new rig that you've got. So yeah, it's a 570 TS570D.
Oh, so I am responsible for the bogus information. I thought it was an 870 and very similar to mine. I'm not sure how close the 570 comes to the 850. So I'll have to look at that. Thanks for straightening me out on that. Okay, Kevin, kudos for your success, and we'll catch a little bit more from you in the second round. Next on the list, I believe, is KQ0Q Alliance here at Springfield.
Well, I guess I still am here. Probably won't be going anyplace either. Anyway, what have I done today? Who knows? I think the biggest, I added an extended USB port so I could put in my Blue DV stick, and what is going on here? Let me turn this off, this radio off. GMRS, you get a lot of kids because it goes into the family service radio thing. So I wanted it on the side so I could turn some of the things off. That's a long story we won't get into. So I put up Velcro and the guitar pedal stuff, and it fell off. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? It's not sticking. So I got out the electric stapler, and I stapled the loop side. The hook side was staying on, and then I took a some L bracket and made a shelf on the side of my shack shelf, for lack of a better. And so it's been up there for about 12 hours now, so I did it early this morning. So that's my radio accomplishment for the day. I also got my Blue DV program working again, and I got my Wires X software working again, and I didn't buy a new cable. So anyway, that's it for me. Back to you, KQ0Q.
All right, if that fails, there's always alien tape. Thanks for those comments, Lance. We'll come back to you in the second round. Next up, we have David in Rogersville, KE6GAE, who's running our live streaming tonight. So if you want to hear yourself, go to his site on YouTube, The Hillbilly Ham, and you'll be there. Go ahead, David.
NSC and the rest of the net. This is KE6GAE. Yeah, haven't done a whole lot today. I probably should have been doing some work at the shack, but I was tired. Yesterday was a long day. Went up to Spark Fest. Had a good time up there. And I don't know how many have heard, but the ARRL Midwest Convention Conference won't be in January at St. Louis's Winterfest. Next year, it'll actually be in Sedalia up there at the Missouri State Fairgrounds. And it'll be in October. So that was kind of exciting that don't have to go if you want to go to the conference. You don't have to go during the winter. Other than that, that's about all I got, Tom. So we'll pass it back to Net Control. KE6GAE, back to Net Control.
All right, David, depends on how late in October it is. Tomorrow, for instance, we're going to start with mid-60 degrees for a high, so it could be cooling off quite a bit. We'll catch you on the second round. Next on my list, NE0B, David. How about that? Logged in, can't get any radio traffic from him. We'll call him again. NE0B, David, your turn. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just in the other room briefly. I have nothing tonight. I'm a one round for me. We'll catch everybody later.
You marked as one and done. Thanks for checking in. Glad to hear you. And with no traffic, at least you're here. So take care. 7-3 to you. We'll go next to KE0CVU, David number 2, out in Bodart.
Yeah, if you're in the stream, watching the stream, jump in the
Well,
chat and say
all
hi.
I got to say to David number 1, Bofang. They work good and an external antenna. No, I haven't done any radio this week. Been working on the house and around here. Thought I'd jump in for the net and see what's going on. Maybe I can learn something. Other than that, good to be here. Appreciate you running the net. And Dave, thanks for running the live feed, but I really don't want to hear myself. That would probably scare me off the nets. I'll see you guys on round 2. KE0CVU.
Dave, welcome aboard. Thanks for your comments. We'll catch you on the second round. Next in line is Marvin in Battlefield, KE0ZKM.
Good evening, Tom, everybody on the net. I don't know if there's a topic tonight. If there is, I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. I was busy kicking kids out of my house. Just getting everybody out on the road, so just got in here. Want to make sure I got in here for the net, so that's all I've got for the first round. Thanks, Tom, for running it.
If you're watching the stream, give me a subscribe,
Marvin,
give me a like.
now it's open mic night, open topic, whatever. So whatever you want to talk about, whatever comments you want to make, you could say anything. You could anyway. Okay, Marvin, we'll catch you in the second round. And we're at the bottom of the list. Is there anyone out there that doesn't have NetLogger that wants to check in? This is KC0NSC in Springfield. Please come down. Okay, alarmingly quiet. We'll go back up to the top and begin our second round. KC0WSC, Bob and Republic. Go ahead.
Well, I kind of covered everything that I had on the first round. Maybe I need to learn to pace myself next time. I would be kind of interested in setting up a pan adapter for my TS2000. Although with my setup right now, that might be a little difficult to do, but that would be an interesting project. So if somebody has the necessary information and wants to email me, that would be great. It's at least something that I can look at, and then if I end up going up to Micro Center or finding some other store like that, maybe I can get the necessary hardware and go with that. I think the TS2000, if I understand how it works, I think it's got an output on it that might maybe make it easy. I don't know. I haven't dived too deep into that yet. It's just kind of one of those thoughts that's kind of formed in the brain and may have opened my mouth before it got fully formed. Other than that, hey, I'll catch you on the 73 round, KC0WSE.
All right, Bob. I had the TS2000. I saw a lot of YouTube videos of people who hooked up pen adapters, but they ran it off the first IF. So that little bandpass thing that it shows, they're not using that. So I can refer you to Kevin, who's had some success, and Steven. Both of those guys know about pen adapters, and, Kenwood's, they seem to be very easy to adapt to it, so you shouldn't have too much trouble. All right, thank you for your comments. So we'll catch you in the 73 round, and we'll trip through the tulips and go to N0KTM. Kevin, your turn again.
That's why I like my newer radios. It's a lot
All
easier
right,
to do
this
that.
is Kevin, N0KTM over here in East Springfield, being, kind of painted as a pan adapter expert. I don't know if that is gonna pan out. Actually, Robert, I'm looking at a video right now that's titled "Pan Adapter Kenworth TS2000," but I don't know. I'm not listening to audio because I'm listening to the net. So there probably is something out there to be able to do it. I just am not familiar enough with that radio at all to have an idea. Excuse me. So, Tom, as far as your 850 goes, I think you said that it was possible to get the first IF out to the back of it through an existing port. So that would go a long way towards making this work. The other thing about that radio is that it does not have a RS-232 port on it. Strictly speaking, a regular serial port. It has on one of the 8-pin round connectors, it's got logic level outputs for transmit and receive RTS and CTS. So there, Kenwood actually makes an adapter that goes from that to regular RS-232 levels, which are, I think, plus minus 12 volts, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, probably the way to do that is going to be to find a connector and get an FDDI adapter cable that accepts logic levels, and I've seen videos on that being done, so that is a definite possibility for your pan adapter. Anyway, that's it for me for right now. I'm just about out of pan comments. So anyway, this is N0KTM. Back to KC0NSC Net Control.
All right, Kevin, I have looked at video. There's a RCA connector on the back of the radio which goes to the second IF, and there's video out there to show how to move that connector to the first IF, because apparently if you use the second IF, it's too narrow. You don't have enough bandwidth for your pen adapter, so you need the first IF. So as far as what kind of rig control will work with it, well, it does work with Ham Radio Deluxe, so it is somewhat controllable. So we'll see what happens later on. Thanks for those comments. We'll catch you on the 73 round, and we'll move along now to KQ0Q, Lance here in Springfield.
Okay. Well, I have a 2000, and I don't have a band adapter, and I've looked at YouTubes, and I'm not doing microsurgery on anything. Anything that cost over maybe $5-10. So, yeah, I did some circuit board stuff on this one little radio event that the club had last year. Built something under $15 or something like that. Yeah, I don't mind taking a soldering iron to that, but I'm not doing anything to a manufactured radio that costs over $1,000 new. Not going to happen. So, I think we talked about this before. As far as pan adapters, you could just use a SDR and throw it up on the screen, and they make this little box that you run your antenna through, and when you transmit, it shuts off. It shuts off the pan adapter or whatever. I don't exactly know how it works, but that way you don't have to do any surgery to your radio. You just don't see the little glitch, like you usually do on a waterfall. So anyway, that's it for me. Not very technical. Back to you. KC0NSC KQ0Q.
All right, Lance. I did quite a bit of study on the Tango Sugar 2000. The first IF is on a test point. And so you don't have to do all that much surgery, really. It's a stake that sticks up and you can just connect to it, so no big deal. As far as the switcher, what it does is switch your antenna between your radio and the SDR. When you're just receiving, both are working, both your radio and the software-defined radio. When you key up to transmit, it turns off the SDR so it doesn't get blasted. However, that does not allow control of your rig from the software. And you would like to be able to change frequency and go back and forth to where the activity is, and you won't have that with that little switcher box. Yes, you can see the activity, but you can't move the needle on your radio, and that's why you want to do it the other way. All right, thanks, Lance. We'll catch you on the 73 round, and we'll move now to KE6GAE. Dave out in Rogersville. Take it away.
KC0NSC. The rest of the net, this is KE6GAE. First thing is Robert, KC0WSE. You could always look at gigaparts too, if you don't want to necessarily have to drive to a store where you can get computers at. They got a wide selection. They're like a Micro Center, but with ham radio. So that's another place to look. Micro Center, when I lived in California, that store was my downfall. I spent way too much money at that store. And what you were talking about, Tom, yeah, that switch box does eliminate the RF going back into your SDR, and it's easier with the newer ones because the rig control software is easier to tie in with a USB cable, but it would be the rig control software. However you connect that with your radio is what would control your radio. That's the one thing about the newer stuff. It makes it a lot easier to set those up as pan adapters and stuff like that. Other than that, that's about all we got for this round, so we'll pass it back to Net Control. KE6GAE, back to Net Control, Tom.
All right. Thanks for those comments, Dave. We'll catch you in the 73 round. And we'll go to Dave number 2 out in Bodark, KE0CBU.
Well, it's really a good thing I'm out here in the shop because I've been listening tonight, and I've even stood up on my ladder, and you guys are still talking over my head. So I figure if I sit here and listen long enough, I might actually learn something. But right now, you're still way over my head. Other than that, the only question I had is trying to get the neighbor up on the air, and he's putting up an in-fed, and was wanting to get a little UHF, VHF antenna to put up, and didn't know. I've got the GP9, and didn't know if anybody had any thoughts on the GP3 or GP6, advantages, disadvantages, or you just gaining dB with it. That's about all I got for round 2. This is KE0CVU.
All right, David. You know the GP9, it has that reach out and touch somebody capability. The smaller antennas are going to work. They're just not going to have as much coverage. And I don't know anybody in your neighborhood running the smaller ones. You would just have to find out. So thanks for those comments. Oh, get a 30-foot ladder. Like Tampon Tim, he's always going to get a 30-foot ladder to get over the wall. Anyway, you take care. We'll catch you on the 73 round. We'll go on to KE0ZKM, Marvin out in Battlefield.
Good evening, Tom, again, and everyone on the net. I was just checking out the GP3 and GP9 antennas, taking a look at those, but the one I've just got a little mobile here hooked up in the shack, so I think it works okay. I don't think I need to invest any more in my outdoor antenna. I've just got a little ground plane, so it works pretty good for me. I have no complaints, so I'm probably just going to stick with it for a while until I find a different radio for the shack here. Other than that, I want to turn it back over to you, Tom, and back to net.
Yeah, it works great for this repeater, and I've heard you on the 910. It works great for that. You're close in. It's when you get out in a fringe area that you need the bigger antenna, but you're doing a great job. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Unless you're going to go mobile, and then I would recommend a 5/8 wave antenna for your mobile. Get a lot farther with that than you will a little quarter wave. Anyway, thanks for your comments. Thanks for being on. We'll catch you on the 73 round. And next on the list is KF0KRZ, Curtis.
Okay, well, thank you, Tom. Made it for round 2 here. I guess, yeah, those looking for a computer. There's a place called Dell Refurbish on the net you can go to. They've got everything from, kind of the home and office to business use to kind of heavy-duty workstations. I know, I suppose you can start at $350 on up to, 1,000 or beyond, I think, but they're pretty heavy. They're kind of come back from contracts and leasings, I think, so they're usually in pretty good shape. I'm not sure what it takes to run 3 screens, but you'd have to find that out. But anyways, Dell Refurbish, I think, is a website. I think it's all one word, so, and just a thought. I'll turn it back to you, Tom, KF0KRZ.
All right, Curtis, that's a good idea. I got mine through Craigslist. There's a guy here in town that refurbishes retired business computers. He was working off of the companies that shut down because of COVID, and he had some good deals. And I got a great laptop from him. Laptop, yeah, okay. So they're out there. If you're looking, you'll find one. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for checking in. We'll catch you on the 73 round, Curtis. And that's the bottom of the list. And we're at the bottom of the second round. Is there anybody out there that would like to check in? This is KC0NSC. Please come now. Nobody out there. So we'll go back up to the top and begin our 7-3 round with Robert in Republic. KC0WSC, go ahead.
gigaparts. The problem is I'm kind of one of those touchy-feely type guys. I need to go see what I'm buying. That's my downfall with Amazon, is whenever I buy hardware, I want to touch it and actually look at it. That's because I'm old. What can I say? No, it's just a good thing I don't live in Kansas City. Every time I go up there to the ham radio store, Associated, of course, you have to drive right by Micro Center. Well, most of the time I don't get past it. But anyway, so yeah, when I go up there, I usually spend lots of money. The computer I built 5 or 6 years or so ago, come to find out, the processor is not good enough for, Microsoft number 11. So that probably tells me that, it's been a while, so yeah, I probably need to upgrade it. So I'm probably talking a new motherboard, new processor. I should be able to reuse the hard drive, which is an MNC2, whatever they call that, and the memory, of course, the case, and the power supply. So hopefully I can get out fairly inexpensively. Who knows? But other than that, that's all I got. Everybody have a good one. And 73 is Tom in the net, KC0WSE.
Comment?
Bomb, KC0WSE73 from KC0NSC in the group. The Micro Center in Denver, I spent lots of money there. A lot of it was my brother-in-law. He wanted this computer, and then he wanted that computer, and bought several motherboards and the other boards and put computers together for him. He was just playing a constant keep-up game. So if you need it, they've got it. So I can understand the addiction. We'll catch you next time, Bob, and we'll go to N0KTM Kevin here in Springfield, your 73 round.
All right, Tom. Yeah, this is N0KTM. Okay. UHF, VHF antennas. Yeah, the GP9 is, I think that's the one you've got, Tom, is a nice antenna, 8.5 dB gain on 2 meters and almost 12 dB gain on 70 centimeters. But it's like $210 or so. Diamond makes a comparable antenna.
That's
I don't know about comparable, but has the same specs.
Diamond is what Tom's
and they
got.
are pretty close to the same price, but there are others. Jetstream makes one. I'm looking at RNL's works or website. My dentist, who you guys met at the breakfast a week ago, has a diamond that he got a long time ago, and he had never gotten put up, which we're going to get put up here pretty quick. And somebody recommended he get, who didn't know he had that, recommended he get an antenna. Workman, excuse me, got a frog. Also sells a dual band UHF VHF antenna, same specs as the GP9 for about half the price.
I wouldn't
Maybe
touch
it's
the
more than half
Workman.
price. What is the GP9? It's about half price. And if you look, sometimes you can find it on Walmart. But most of the big, at least RNL has it. I don't know if Associated has it. I can't quickly navigate with their website. But that's definitely a possibility for $100 or $200 for a really good, like you said, booming UHF VHF antenna. So anyway, yes, I've got my computer on and I'm looking stuff up like crazy. So anyway, I think that's it for me for tonight. Thank you, Tom, for running the net tonight, and thanks to everybody for checking in. This is N0KTM saying 7-3 and turn it back to KC0NSC Net Control.
All right, Kevin, I happen to have the Diamond iteration, and I paid about half the GP9 price for it and bought it brand new. Just got lucky. And I've enjoyed it. It has worked great. Thanks for your comments, Kevin. Thanks for being on tonight. N0 KTM 73 from KC0NSC and the group. We'll catch you next time. And we go now to KQ0Q Lance. Your turn for the 73 round.
All right, we made it all the way through, so hallelujah. Yep, Robert, have you discounted Best Buy? I don't know.
For parts, yes.
Every computer I have came from Best Buy, and it may not be the rock bottom price, but you got to pick through it. But you can get the latest stuff, that's for sure, and it'll save you a couple-hour trip. But if you want to go to Kansas City, I mean, it's great getting away. So I know some people don't like Best Buy for whatever reason, but anyway, good luck on your computer quest. I know that salespeople at Best Buy usually don't know what they're talking about, but you do your homework on the internet and then go in there. I've got some screaming deals there a couple times, but I don't know. I just haven't had any trouble. So anyway, 7-3. Everyone have a great week. Back to you, Tom. KC0NSC KQ0Q.
All right, Lance. Thanks for your comments. And thanks for being on and checking in and all that good stuff. KQ0Q. We'll catch you next time. 7-3 from KC0NSC in the group. We go now to KE6GAE. David out in Rogersville.
KC0NSC and the rest of the net. This is KE6GAE. Oh, we'll start with the antennas. Me personally, I wouldn't touch a Workman. I'd buy a Tram before I bought a Workman. But he was asking about GP3s and GP6s. I've actually got the Diamond equivalent of a GP3 in my attic for severe weather use. And I've talked on the Simplex net in the attic to Sean's house in Aurora. I can get into the Frystat repeater from there. So those little antennas, especially if you got it outside and got good coax on it, they're actually pretty good antennas. Yeah, they don't have the 8 dB and the 12 dBi that a GP9 has. But for the longest time, until I got my GP9, that's what I ran outside. And computer stuff, I understand, Robert. If you're doing the motherboard and the CPU, I see why you're wanting to go to like Micro Center or someplace where you can get. The only thing I suggest on that one is, yes, the onboard video's gotten better, but I personally would add a video card to it. It'll drive those 3 monitors a lot better. Other than that, that's about all I've got. Oh, and yeah, Lance, I've bought computers at Best Buy. I wouldn't buy components at Best Buy, though. And I've got, as a matter of fact, the laptop I used last night, Lance, I bought that at Best Buy. So, and sometimes you can get good deals if you know what you're getting. Most of the time, don't go in and ask them because they claim they don't work on commission, but I know several people that have worked for Best Buy, and yes, they do. The people on the floor do get commission. So other than that, that's all we got. We'll say 73 to everybody. Thanks for doing the net tonight, Tom. K6GAE, back to net control.
All right, David, and thanks for running the live stream for us. Great deal. Thanks for your comments, and we'll catch you next time. KE6GAE, David in Rogersville, 7-3 from KC0NSC in the group. We go now to KE0CVU, another David in Bodart.
Now, with a name like David, you've got to listen real hard on the nets to find out which turn is yours. So, good thing I do. No, appreciate the input on the antennas. I am thinking about, I want to try to talk you into the GP9. I think he'll be happy with it. He can only get it up about 40 or 50 feet, so, but I think he'll be happy with the performance. But I wanted feedback on the other options if he didn't want to spend quite that much, so I appreciate the input. Other than that, I'll say 73's doing a great job on the net. This is KE0CVU.
Comment?
All right, David, thanks for those comments. Keep them coming. Yeah, I was at the doctor's office earlier this week, and they called first names. And the lady came out, and she called David, and the guy stood up and said, which one? So there just seems to be an unbelievable amount of Davids in this generation, whatever. All right, KE0CVU 73 from KC0NSC in the group, and we'll catch you later on. We go now to KE0ZKM Marvin in Battlefield. Your turn.
KE0ZKM. Thanks, Tom, for on the net. Nothing else to add. Just sitting here, just, looking up antennas, seeing what's out there, see what's not. The one I actually has a 0 dB gain. So, I don't know. It still works pretty good. I've got it up on the house. It's 2 meters, 70 centimeters, so I haven't had any complaints. Now, I only use it on 2 meter. That's all my radio is, but the simplex net, he does have to turn to me to be able to reach me, but other than that, I haven't had any complaints.
Yeah, they usually call that unity gain.
That's exactly what they call it. Actually, I guess I should say I haven't heard any complaints. If they've complained, I haven't heard it, so it works for me.
There you go. All right, Marvin, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for all your comments. We'll catch you next time. KE0ZKM 73 from KC0NSC in the group. We got one lonely little fellow left for the 73 round. KF0KRZ. Curtis, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Yeah, I've got a little 5-element 2-meter beam out in kind of out in the backyard. Once in a while I hitch it up, try to hit the simplex net. I have hitched it, made it with that, so I need to maybe get it up in the attic and get it up a little higher off the ground, but to get to the attic, I got to hit my attic stairway, and to get to do that, I have to take the whole thing probably apart, and that's kind of a trick, so it just sort of lives in the backyard for now, but anyways, Tom, thank you for running things tonight. KC0NSC, this is KF0KRZ.
All right, Curtis, thanks for checking in. Thanks for your comments. We'll catch you next time. KF0KRZ 73 from KC0NSC. So far, we've had a total of 8 check-ins, not counting myself. We're at the bottom of the 7-3 round. Is there anybody that would like to check in last minute, so to speak? I will take your call. KC0NSC. And so I'm not hearing anybody. So everybody have a fine night. Certainly a good net. It's like airplane landings. Anytime you are still alive after the landing, it's a good landing. Well, we had a good net. Great bunch of guys, and I certainly enjoy it. I'm going to close this net. I'm going to return the 640 repeater to normal use. Have a good night.
All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, like I talked about earlier, Hamfest is coming up in a little less than a month. So go to www.nixahams.net. There you can purchase your entry tickets. You can purchase your prize tickets. We still got some tables left. If you're looking for a table, you can purchase your table there online. But www.nixahams.net. And you can get more information about the sponsors and everything at smlrs.info. Let me make sure on that. I'm second guessing myself on the. Yep, smlrs.info. So hopefully we'll see everybody there. Got a lot of prizes to give away this year. We're working hard to put on a good ham fest for everybody. But we're going to say 73, y'all. Thanks for coming by. KE6GAE, the Hillbilly Ham, where ham radio comes to life. Let's all learn this ham radio stuff together. 73, y'all.